Bear Grylls presents A Bear Grylls Adventure, The Arctic Challenge, written by Bear Grylls and read by Joe Jameson. To the young survivor listening to this book for the first time, may your eyes always be wide open to adventure and your heart full of courage and determination to see your dreams through. Chapter 1. Left and Right. Joe laughed, excited and dizzy, as the world spun round and round. It was just like being inside a washing machine. He was strapped inside a huge, transparent plastic bubble, with his friend Omar bouncing around a sandy track. This was the bubble run, one of camp's many activities. Joe could see the other bubble trundling behind them, with Lily and Mia in it. "Bend coming!" Omar called. "I see it!" Joe said confidently. To steer the bubble, they both had to lean in the same direction at the same time. "And lean," said Omar. The bubble rolled around the bend, but they were going a bit too fast, and it overshot, straight into a tree. They bounced off, and Omar and Joe laughed. This was fun. But Omar spotted a problem. "Hey, we're going to hit the girls! Lean left!" Deliberate bubble bumping wasn't allowed. It spoiled the fun for everyone. Joe leaned. "No, left!" Joe quickly leaned the other way. Too late. The bubbles bounced off each other. "We've got to get out of their way," said Omar. "Lean right!" Joe felt his brain jam up. Right, left, which was which? "Right!" Omar urged. "Come on, Joe, or we'll hit them again." The girls' bubble thumped into theirs again. Omar saw where they were rolling in alarm. "We're right at the top of the slope. Lean left!" Joe panicked. It was too late. The two bubbles were out of control. For a few dizzying seconds, the whole world whirled as they bounced down the slope. The bubbles stopped at the bottom with one last bump. With their heads still spinning, they unstrapped themselves and clambered out. Everyone was dizzy and a bit dazed, but Joe was relieved to see that no one looked hurt. Well, almost. Lily looked slightly more confused than the others. Joe was going to say something, but then a leader came running down, a look of worry all over her face. She asked if everyone was okay, and Joe had to admit that it was his fault. "Omar was telling me to go right, but, I just get muddled." Joe expected everyone to laugh, but no one did. The leader just gave a sympathetic smile. She pointed out that Joe and Omar both wore watches on their left wrists, so from now on, Omar should tell Joe watch and not watch, instead of left and right. They pushed their bubbles back to the top and finished the bubble run without bumping out of control again. But the fun had gone out of it for Joe. He just felt stupid. Afterwards, they were all at lunch with the rest of camp in the meal clearing. They picked a table in the shade of a tree. Joe let the others chat while he studied his hands. He had to get this right. Once, for one day only, Joe had tried marking his hands L and R. Then someone noticed the L and asked what it was for. He had made up some excuse and gone straight off to the bathroom to wash the letters away. It was just embarrassing. Watch or not watch should work, as long as he always wore a watch and remembered which wrist to put it on. But, apart from Omar, people would just keep on saying left and right. Once, Joe had had an easy way of remembering directions. Left was the way you turned out of his house to head for town. Right was the other way. This had worked for him until a teacher at school had tried to be helpful. "Your right hand is the hand you write with, Joe," she had said with a smile. She hadn't noticed Joe was left-handed. So now his thoughts went something like this. Left is town direction, which is this.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?